Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss one of the very important topic of our Indian polity, that is fundamental right and the directive principle of state polity. Fundamental right and directive principle of state policy. Here let's first understand what is right. Right, simply speaking, right is a claim. Right is a claim against a state. It means it is something which individual wants against the state, and the state has to provide that. But why we have to categorize rights into two parts, that is fundamental right and DPSP? The answer is that when India got independence, that time India has not enough resources. इंडिया के पास उतना रिसोर्सेस नहीं था। इस कारण से जो राइट बेसिक राइट थे और बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट थे, उन राइट को फंडामेंटल राइट की कैटेगरी में रखा गया, और जो राइट उतना ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं थे एज फंडामेंटल राइट, तो उन राइट को डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी के अंडर कैटेगराइज किया गया। और बाद में स्टेट जो है ना, एज पैसेज ऑफ टाइम जो है ना, उसको जो है ना इम्प्लीमेंट करता रहेगा। लेकिन बाद में जो है ना एक ट्रेंड इमर्ज में आ जाता है, चूँकि विद द पैसेज ऑफ टाइम जो है ना, जैसे इंडिया जो है ना डेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट की तरफ बढ़ता गया, तो बहुत सारे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की नेसेसिटी थी, राइट, फॉर एग्जांपल रोड एंड एवरीथिंग। सो इन दिस सिचुएशन देयर वाज द नीड ऑफ व्हाट, लैंड, जमीन। सो इन द बट हेयर दीज लैंड वाज अंडर द कंट्रोल ऑफ जमींदार, ये जमींदार के अंडर में था या रिच फार्मर के, और स्टेट उनसे उस समय नहीं ले सकती थी डायरेक्ट। क्यों? इसी फंडामेंटल राइट की वजह से, बिकॉज दैट टाइम देयर वर टू फंडामेंटल राइट। द फर्स्ट वन, आर्टिकल 19 क्लास 1 सब क्लास F, which talks about right to acquire or hold property, and second article 31, which talks about deprive of their property. That means right to property was fundamental right that time. And we know already what is the meaning of that. This means that if someone is going against your fundamental right, yeah, someone is breaching your fundamental right, you can directly go to the Supreme Court and can challenge. So in this condition, government, it means parliament, here they have doubt, because development project was necessary in this condition. So what they think, they think there should be some escape clause, and there means this property can be taken back. But under two conditions. That should be in public interest. This is normal thing. Second, proper compensations. It means कि state can take what, property, but they have to provide proper compensations. And I think that is proper justification, because there was need development as well, and on the other hand there was what, public interest. So but here question arises, which types of compensations? So see here, compensations talks about under two category. First, article 30. This is general information, that it is talk about minority education institutions. It means state has to provide compensations to these minority educational institutions. The second one is article 31 clause A. It means कि within statutory limit they can have property, and which, but here please here attention need to be paid, that means within statutory limit state means they can have property, which differ from state to state. Why differ from state to state? This is common sense here, because land is a state subject. So see, this kind of connection we have to think. It means this comes under which government. So here this varies from state to state, and state can take within limit as well, but in this condition state has to provide proper compensations. So here this was the issue basically. It means कि government, because our government is name was democratic socialist government, it means कि socialism, and socialism simply speaking is what? Social justice. It means welfare of all people, right? Welfare of all people, equality should prevail. So this was basically issue. Now first constitutional amendment act happened 1951. First constitutional amendment act happened 1951, which added two article 31A and 31B. 31A simply asks that के state can take property from the people, right? And 31B simply says that means कि the things which are included, the provision which are included in 9th schedule of Indian Constitution, they are immune from judicial review. It means उनका judicial review नहीं हो सकता. जो चीज़ें आर्टिकल 31B और 9th शेड्यूल में इंक्लूड की गई हैं, उनका जुडिशियल रिव्यू नहीं हो सकता. लेकिन एक चीज़ यहाँ पे अराइज होता है कि यहाँ पे तो फिर गवर्नमेंट फ्यूचर में कोई भी चीज़ जो है ना, कोई भी प्रोविज़न जो है ना इसमें ऐड करते रहेगी. तो हेयर सुप्रीम कोर्ट्स कम इनटू एक्शन. सी हेयर इंडिया हैज सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर. सो हेयर सुप्रीम कोर्ट कम इनटू एक्शन एंड दे हैव सेड दैट कि सी ओके यू कैन डू दैट, बट दे हैव डिसाइडेड ऑन डेट, दैट इज 24 April 1973. They have said that after this date, whatever you have to put, whatever provision you have to put in 9th schedule, they need judicial scrutiny. It means judicial will review it because basic structure should not be violated. So that was basically the date which we have to remember from prelims point of view of UPSC. Right? Again, with the passage of time, 31C came into action. 31C by 25 Constitutional Amendment Act 1971, under which first added two articles again, 39B and 39C. Here, please pay attention. 39B, 39C. 39B basically talks about equal distribution of resources, and 39C talks about concentration of wealth. And 31C class 1 13 and class 2 talks about that कि whatever provision in class 1 they should be immune from judicial review. Means court cannot interfere. Court interfere कर ही नहीं सकती. So here comes what? One of the very very prominent landmark judgment, that is Keswan and Bharti case, and they have said that no, if the provision enacted by parliament or government against the basic structure of the constitution, so here court will definitely interfere, and I think that is right as well, because we have to maintain the harmony, because constitution is for what? Constitution is for the welfare of the people, right? Here one thing we have to understand, 39B, 39C. So basically here, see, we have what? Fundamental right and DPSP, and 39B, 39C what? Are DPSP and fundamental right, Article 14 and 19, right? Article 14 and 19, and Article 31 as well. So 31 has been repealed, right? In 1978 by 44th Constitutional Amendment Act, which I think was brought under the Morarji Desai government, right? But Article 14 and 19 was still prevalent. So ये दोनों contradiction में थे. Now what have to take decision? So they have decided that if to implement 39B and 39C, Article 14 and 19 जो है ना बीच में आता है, तो इस कंडीशन जो है ना 39B 39C will be prevailed, right? While we have to remember one case here. The case was Champakan Dorai Rajan case. Champakan Dorai Rajan case. I think this case has been brought in 1951, under which they have said that if there is a conflict between fundamental right and DPSP, so fundamental right will prevail. मतलब fundamental right जो है ना उसको इम्पोर्टेंस दी जाएगी। लेकिन यहाँ पे जो है कहा गया कि इस आर्टिकल को इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए जो है ना क्या किया जाएगा, इस आर्टिकल को इम्प्लीमेंट करने 39 बी एंड सी को इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए जो है ना यहाँ पे फंडामेंटल राइट को भी जो है ना इम्पोर्टेंस नहीं दिया जाएगा। और वो भी कौन से आर्टिकल 14 एंड 19। लेकिन यहाँ पे एक चीज़ और बाद में आता है। आई थिंक इंदिरा गांधी हैज़ ब्रॉट 42nd कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट 1976 एंड दे हैव सेड दैट ऑल DPSP मीन्स ऑल डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल स्टेट पॉलिसी विल बी अबव फंडामेंटल राइट, अगेन व्हिच वाज चैलेंज्ड बाय सुप्रीम कोर्ट इन मिनर्वा मिल केस 1980 and they have said that no, not all, only article 39b and 39c. So here basically we have understood one thing. There is a tussle between Supreme Court and government, between judiciary and executive in academic language, and ultimately we have to ensure what social justice, because India has democratic socialist government. So here we need to understand this, the importance of this thing, and see what we are talking about, that the things which can be included in 9th schedule. So see, we have what federal structure means parliament and state legislature. So if parliament will make the law, so that will be violated. But if state legislature is making, so in this condition president consent becomes important in this case. So here please remember from prelims point of view, and I think this becomes very important here. So I think now we have got clear that basically 31 article class 1, class 2, class 3 was basically exception to fundamental right. It means, as a summary, we can say that when there is a conflict between fundamental right and DPSP, fundamental right will prevail. But exception यहाँ पे 2 केस में है 39B and 39C, because to implement 39B 39C we have to ignore article 19 and article 14 and article 19. So this becomes very important, and we already know that India is socialist country, right? So that's why right to property has been what repealed. So this was basically concept behind that. And I hope you will like the video, and if you have any doubt, please comment. Thank you.